Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography, where old friends and fans come together to BS, argue, occasionally agree, and discuss a musical artist. This week's artist is the Foo Fighters. We are doing these albums one by one, and today's album is Concrete and Gold. With me today, the sky is his neighborhood, Tim.
Hello.
I'd feel insulted, Tim.
I was going to give it to you, but
Well, thank you.
la-di-da, it's cold
That's
quit.
very nice. I will take La-di-da. That song kicked ass.
Oh,
Send them free T-shirts. That's Jason.
I'll take some t-shirts. As long as it's not concrete and gold t-shirts. So
I mean, I'll buy one.
these are our current rankings. As you can see, it's a little, a little divisive here, but whatever. It's the Foo Fighters. If you haven't seen those previous videos, click the playlist link below. Start from the beginning. It's pretty interesting.
Find out why we all agree about In Your Honor.
Yes. Find out why we all have In Your Honor. That's a good kickoff point there. Yeah, so I guess before we get into Concrete and Gold, because Tim's been itching. I mean, he tried to jump in the last video about some songs from
Just
Laundry
because I
Room, so-
misread the syllabus.
So let's go ahead and cover this little 4-track EP here.
Yeah, so the Laundry Room, of course, was Dave and Barrett's house, where they would just record stuff. Clearly, you got some demos from the first album. I think it's interesting that they picked probably the most popular song commercially from the album, and then possibly the most popular song fan-wise. So that was interesting. And then you get a fun little cover of Kids in America.
We're the
Which is
kids
cool.
in America.
That's stuck in my head again since listening to it. Clearly, they're just having fun. Or Dave's just having fun, because this is just Dave in his living room, living with a professional recording engineer. And, yeah, just fun stuff. Fun stuff. It's a great little EP. It definitely takes me back to the first album, which I don't know if you noticed, but ranks pretty high on my list. I think that was a magical time, not only in the Foo Fighters discography, but in Dave Grohl's career. This was all him just doing what he does best. And this is just more, some deep cuts, some more evidence of it. It was a Record Store Day release as well that I went to the store for, but by the time I got to the tables, it was already gone. So I never got a physical copy. But digitally, it's a lot of fun. And yeah, if you got like your master Foo Fighter playlist, like you should, this should be on there. These are great little versions of the two songs you know. And the song you don't know is a great example of what the Laundry Room was. And it even reminds me a lot of the Pocket Watch tape that you can find on YouTube, and I highly recommend. Was recorded while Nirvana was active. And
Did they
it's
lose
just
the
Dave.
recordings for that? Is there, why hasn't he re-released the Pocket Watch demos?
That's a great question. I don't know if there's an official answer or not. I think it's because the original idea of it was that it only came out on like 100 cassettes or something.
Cassettes.
Yeah. So maybe the idea was just to always have it be this super underground thing. But there's a lot of really good songs on it.
Stephen King, get Dave Grohl to leave a comment down below. Let us know what's going on with the Pocket Watch demos. Let us know.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely worth checking those out on YouTube or wherever, bootleg source you want to go to. Yeah, magical stuff that just another cool release that reminds you, no matter how you feel about the Foo Fighters at the current point in their career, having just heard Sonic Highways, but not necessarily Concrete and Gold yet. This is something that would keep you interested, or maybe even bring it back onto the train.
Yeah, if it was a little longer.
Yeah, it definitely hints at more to come. So I'm excited for that release in 20 years or whatever we do the 50th anniversary edition.
Yeah.
Super deluxe. But with streaming, you can make your own playlists and do your own thing.
Yeah, it's
and
on Spotify.
Yeah, it's readily listenable. Top quality, great little EP. I love that the artwork is just like an old cassette.
I know. That is so freaking nostalgic right there.
Yeah. But it makes total sense because they're just labeling whatever song they did that day for fun.
I like that the Dave on all of the actual reels. That's nice. I just like seeing the word Dave. It's a great name.
Well, my notes say most people talking about the Foo Fighters would just omit this one, but to us it's notable. Only 4 tracks, but they're all bangers. You got a demo version of Alone plus Easy Target. Not as good as the album version, but the song is so good anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's a little brighter, a little happier.
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah.
Great demo version of Big Me, though. Covering Kids in America is always a good idea. I like the Muffs version better, but Dave got it going on here. I haven't heard the Lynn version from the Digimon soundtrack, but I'm willing to bet Dave did it better than that.
Okay.
I didn't know that existed, and I'm head over heels excited to hear it.
Empty Handed is top song material. Give us more Foo like this. Just one more album like this, please. Just one more.
I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible with Shiflett in the band. He's too good of a guitar player. And I don't think it's possible after, I don't know, wherever it is you think that Dave started writing real songs.
I mean, or Alone plus Easy Target's a real song to me.
Sure, but like,
I get what you're saying.
There's a point in the career where it's like, okay, lyrically, he's not very confident in what he's doing, so he's just kind of making up words and phrases and just kind of going more with somewhat of a melody. And I personally prefer that approach.
I do too.
From him.
I do too.
To what he turned into, which was, write a great lyric and bass and then write your, Bruce Springsteen song around it. And
I still say there's a possibility that when he's like 60, he's not far off from it. I mean, he's got a couple years to go, right? He's only he's in his 50s or whatever, right?
He's mid-50s, yeah.
Mid-50s, yeah.
Maybe when he hits like about 65, he's like, you know what? I'm going to record some really crazy shit on an acoustic guitar in my bedroom, and it'll sound more like these demos, maybe. I don't know. It always happens. Everybody goes back. They go real big, and then they try to go back one day, and they knock it out the fucking park. Right? Like Rolling Stones. Come on. 60 years.
Sure, but regardless, Shiflett's too good of a guitar player. And with 3 guitar players in the band, Dave's not doing a lot of guitar work in the Foo Fighters anymore.
All right. Which is a shame because there's so many good riffs on Self-Titled.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
A lot of interesting chord progressions and usage of different chords and minors
and rhythms. Obviously, being a drummer and and doing all the takes and even playing the bass. The bass isn't profound or anything, but it really adds to the whole vibe because he's right there in his own pocket. And this was just a magical time. Obviously, only a couple years post Nirvana, the next year post Nirvana. And, I was certainly of an impressionable age that I wanted to see what was next. And obviously we've had an amazing career, and these are just, a couple of the seeds that started it.
So, what is it, 2 years later, we get Concrete and Gold. Which mine's the original with the original logo on it.
Nice.
But
Well,
I feel like Jason needs to go first. We got to end this with some positivity.
you're right. You're probably right. All right. T-shirt's okay. It's very Beatles White Album sounding for me. It's short. It works as an opening, I suppose. Run has a boring intro, but then the song rips. My only issue is the production. It takes all the punch out of the song, but the song itself is great. Some of it sounds like Late Dinosaur Jr., some of it sounds like Pearl Jam, but Dave's vocal performance is great. It's over 5 minutes long, but you don't really notice it. Unlike the longer songs on Sonic Highways, Run actually does something. The guitar solo section is welcomed. I like this one. Make It Right. Got some Timberlake on this one. This song is dumb and I hate it. Not because of Timberlake, but the only good thing about this song is the main riff and Taylor's drums. Production is awful. Background oohs and ahs are dumb. I hate it. Sky is the Neighborhood. Oh yay, more oohs and ahs. Hate this one too. Banging on the Ceiling, Banging on the Ceiling. I can't believe this song is only 4 minutes long. It felt like 20. La Di Da is okay. Maybe a C tier Foo Fighters song. If the production was better, I could go back to this one more. I just hate the sound of this record. It's never worked for me. The riffs are good. It's a little repetitive, and the bass is okay, but it just sounds so awful. Dirty Water, getting those early 90s Dinosaur Jr. vibes again on this one, at least until the Hawaiian part comes in. I hate this one. Arrows, first part is boring, starts to build to something, and now finally we get some rock again. Not really great rock, but at this point on the record, I'll take it. I could add this one to a playlist. Happily Ever After, 0 Hour. This would be another one I like. It reminds me again of the Beatles' White Album, but like one of the, quote, throwaway tracks people like to mention. It's fun, it's pretty, it's goofy. Sunday Rain, you got the man Paul McCartney on drums. This one's smooth as fuck. Back half of Concrete and Gold is the gold. Much better than the first half. This is one of my favorite Taylor Sung Fu songs. The line is decent, but like Run, all the edges of the Foo are worn down and dull. There's no sharpness on this record. The song itself is okay, just the sound of it takes any enjoyment I would get out of it. Concrete and Gold, boring, sounds like shit, horrible closer. I like the lyrics, but Dave sounds so bad on it. Moving on.
Well, to counterpoint, I disagree with every little thing you said about this record.
Of course you do.
I mean, dude, like, it doesn't sound great. The whole point is that it doesn't sound great. It's like an aggressive record that's also somehow like blues. I don't understand what the fuck is happening here. It reminds me of like sludge metal in a way. There's a lot of sludge metal on this record, in my opinion. There's a lot of like modern, like post-hardcore going on this record. There's just like tonally, it's got more inclined to like Tombs or Cursed than like, I don't know, the Foo Fighters. I don't know. To me, like, the production on it is why it's so good, because it's moody, it's dark, it sounds like a rusted old fucking train riding down a goddamn nowhere fucking train track, man. It's just like desolate and kind of brutal. Like, there's like, to be fair, The Sky is a Neighborhood is the worst Foo Fighters song I have ever fucking heard in my life. But if you take that song off this fucking record, I love this to the high heavens, man. It sounds like a rock band should in 2017 without sounding like a fucking piece of shit, like boring rock band. It's better than 21 Pilots or whatever the fuck the kids listen to on TK101 these days. It's a badass fucking modern rock record. It's got more in time. Like, I hear a lot of Baroness even on like the production of this record, which, to be fair, if you hate this record's production, I hate some of the Baroness records because the production's so just dense and corrosive that like it doesn't sound like a song anymore. It's just like this wall of sound at some point. And I feel like a lot of that's happening on this record. And I might not like all the songs. I do agree that that Happy Ever After is like a Beatles song. It's very pleasant and nice, and it's a nice interlude in this just onslaught of like weird tonal shifts and just crazy madness.
That's what
like,
I like. I like the Beatles.
I heard this record and I was like, I can't wait to listen to this again. It blew my fucking mind. Like La Di Da, what the fuck, man? I still don't know what's happening musically in that song. There's so much awesome shit happening. It's like, I just feel like if you're looking for like a poppy, catchy, great Foo Fighters record, this is not for you at all. But if you want to hear Dave Grohl and some dudes making some wild shit, check this shit out.
I see. Rad. To me, the songs, right? Yeah, everything you just said fits the songs, but the production takes all of that out. It sounds like they're like the producer. They're trying to make these songs sound like radio friendly bullshit.
I don't know. To me, it all sounded like a bore drill to my fucking skull, man.
It's got riffs, yeah.
It's got to me.
It's got the.
I was listening to it streaming through my stereo with a subwoofer, so I don't know if that changed it. But it sounded rough as shit to me. It didn't sound that clean at all. It sounded muddy and fucking rusty. And
listen to it with headphones on. It's fucking awful.
Okay,
it's awful. I do agree. The songs are some of the songs are really fucking good. There's a lot of really good guitar riffs on this record.
Dude, Run, holy shit, man, that just rules. There's like just a lot of cool shit happening. Anyway, and I like Concrete and Gold. I thought that was sludge as shit, and it blew me away that they were doing this shit. Like, it sounded awesome. I thought it was long, but it was also like intentional. You know what I mean? Like, it can be long.
A Grammy for this one, so.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. I loved it.
Of course, generally the Foo Fighters, they put out a record, they're gonna win a Grammy for rock anyway. Because what else?
It's all about who you pay anyway, really, for that kind of thing.
They probably won one for Medicine at Midnight too. So.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Dave throws really great parties. You know what I mean?
Well, if he's barbecuing, I'm there.
Yeah, man.
Put that medium rare steak on the.
All right, Tim. Bring us to a middle here. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of pretty much in the middle of you guys here on this one. As far as the production goes, there were some interesting choices. I don't know if I would agree with all of them, but I don't think anything jumped out at me as really like outrageous. And I should probably preface that when this album came out, I was completely off the Foo Fighters train, like actively, like I'd almost put them into Red Hot Chili Peppers territory. And, but I hadn't quite yet, but it was a serious consideration.
Wait one hot minute.
Well, because I had heard This Guy Is a Neighborhood, and Colquitt is right. That is the worst Foo Fighters song I have heard up to this point. There's something about it that just really does not work for me. Maybe it's too Gary Glitter. I'm not sure.
The vibe, what I heard was them going, "Oh, those Imagine Dragons guys think they're good. We can do that better." That's what I heard. Like drumming and everything. It's very Imagine Dragons sounding to me.
And I'm not familiar enough with Imagine Dragons. You were
a lucky man. You were so lucky.
And I'm pretty sure I heard Run. Run was like the first single, right?
I thought it was This Guy Is a Neighborhood.
Okay, well, I heard Run then. Listening back to it here.
I was off the train too, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's got some interesting stuff. It's got some surprising stuff. And then it is also included in probably like every song on the first half of this album. Kind of does the thing where they repeat a verse chorus progression one too many times. So there's some songwriting choices I think that could have been tightened up, and one thing I also got from the first half, especially, was a big Beatles influence, which you guys both mentioned. I hadn't heard this album before going into this video, and while it was interesting enough to for me to not completely dismiss it, Even The Sky's the Neighborhood, I listened to it. It worked well as far as like with the sequencing of the album. Like, yeah, that's where that's gonna go. Should it have been a single? Probably not. But I guess I can see why if that was just like the flavor of the radio at the time. Um, I did not have the credits in front of me, so I'm just now learning that Paul McCartney was playing drums on Sunday Rain, which is interesting because right when I was about to kind of write this album off, that song came on and I loved it immediately.
It's
I
definitely
think
the
that,
best song on the record.
yeah, that's, I put it on my personal playlist. I don't know if I've had enough time with it to know if it's top tier Foo Fighters or not, but it was a very surprising song on a surprising album that I went into thinking was going to be, The Sky is a Neighborhood, and it's not. So I'm happy about that. Yeah, Sunday Rain is fantastic. And then getting into Concrete and Gold, yeah, the riff is pretty heavy. I do like the tone, but there's nothing else behind it. So in that way, it kind of is The Sky is a Neighborhood, where it's very minimalistic pop. But they're doing something interesting with it. They're putting the cool Dave Grohl spin on it. So I didn't hate it. But I see both of your points on it.
By the way, I forgot to mention that The Line is probably the finest rock song this band's ever written. That song is amazing. And
I'll have to go back. That one didn't really like stick out to me at all, honestly. So, but
My problem with The Line was, again, like I said, it's a decent song. Just the production takes any kind of like edge or sharpness out of it. It just sounds like radio bullshit to me.
God,
Like,
dude, I cannot imagine any of that being played on the radio. Maybe The Sky's Neighborhood, but I don't know.
The sound just... I'm not talking about the song itself, but the
no, I
sound
know what you're saying. Like that's, I agree with you, but like I don't hear any of that on the radio. Like that's way too. I don't know, man. Maybe I was really, really sick and on meds the first time I heard it, and I heard it differently. I don't know, because it sounded just ugly most of the way through the record, not like a radio record at all. I don't know.
Again, expectations. Tim went in going, he's not going to like it, and ended up liking it more. I went in thinking I was going to like it, and ended up coming out less.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's interesting.
Yeah, I did. When it was released, I assumed it was another Echoes, Patience, Silence, and Grace, and that it was just going to be one of the Foo Fighters albums that I just completely skipped.
I thought it was going to be a country rock record. Like, honestly, that's what I thought it was going to be.
I'd welcome a country rock Foo Fighters record right about now.
I don't know, man.
With a different producer. They
didn't get a Bee Gees cover album. But...
Yeah, we should have reviewed that too. That would have been fun.
Switch producers. We've had 3 in a row now. Go back to Gil. Go back to Butch. Get Bill Stevenson to do a Foo Fighters record. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. It'd be interesting to have Dave Grohl do a Foo Fighters record.
Yeah, he's obviously got to have an idea of the mechanics at this point. You know, he'd be good at it.
I mean, most of their records say, produced by blah, 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 and the Foo Fighters. Like, I mean, they do a lot of it themselves, too. Yeah, so for me, in my head, I always had Sonic as my least favorite Foo Fighters record, but this one takes that spot. At least Sonic Highway's songs sound good, and they have a lot of dynamics. This album has better songs, but they all sound like shit, barring Sunday Rain. I just don't like this record, and combined with Sonic, I was off the Foo train. So it's going to be my number, whatever number we're on now, 9.
Mine.
Come on, Colquitt, you got to put it like 1 through 4.
Oh, I'm going to.
And Tim's got to put it at like 6 and below.
This is a hot fucking take, buddy. Hot fucking take. It's my number 3. Not
Wow.
even joking. I like it way more than Color and the Shape. No question.
Wow.
I know. I'm shocked too, dude. Trust me. I gave it a second listen just to be sure. Because Lord knows I don't need to listen to Color and Shape to know exactly every note on that fucking record. But, like, I don't know, man. I like this moody ass bullshit, man. And it's moody as fuck. And I really enjoyed it and appreciated it. It made me feel like I'm a 41 on going on 42-year-old man. And it's all falling apart. And I love it. It's so good. I don't know, man.
You have lost all your honor.
Yeah, you know, I don't have much anyway, obviously. I like weird shit, apparently, and that's okay.
Well, I now have the ending clip for this video.
Now I'm scared.
As
You'll
you
like
should
it.
be.
You'll appreciate it.
All right, cool.
You'll appreciate it. I just had to throw that honor in there. All right, Tim.
Okay, so I can't see what number it is, but it's better than There's Nothing Left to Lose, but I like Sonic Highways more.
All right. We are divulging even further.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the odd duck, at least, so.
Well, you're the odd duck here, but like I'm the odd duck here.
I'm the odd duck at number 1.
Yeah, number 1. That's interesting. And me and Tim have the Wasting Light way up here. You got it down here. I got this here. You've got them down here. It's gonna get.
I mean, it just shows how good the catalog actually is.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Like,
if you're a Foo Fighters fan,
do something different for everybody. That's great.
If you're not like a blind Foo Fighters fan who just like likes everything they put out, there is a big there's a bigger diversity here than I thought going in. I'll say that.
For sure. Same. I mean, I had heard everything up to There's Nothing Left to Lose. That's it. So for me, this has been a journey, to say the least. I wasn't expecting it to be.
All right. Yeah, that's interesting. All right, so up next we're going to do Medicine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Medicine at Midnight.
Indeed.
So, give us a like, subscribe. Leave us a comment down below. What do you think of Concrete? It's kind of all over the place here. We got it 3rd place. We got it 9th place. We got it 7th place. What do you think about Concrete Gold? Have you heard Songs in the Laundry Room? Let us know down below. Be safe. Make good decisions.